Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania. The tale of choppers and chopping tools. The earliest known tools in the world were discovered at Hadar, Ethiopia, and Olduvai Gorge, Tanzania. These were river stones or fragments of volcanic rock rudimentarily chipped to create a sharp edge or useful point. They were used for cutting meat from carcasses or breaking bones to extract marrow. These tools are called choppers for the pieces chipped on one side, and chopping tools for those chipped on both sides. Choppers, unifacially chipped tools, were primarily used for activities such as cutting meat from animal carcasses or for detaching smaller pieces from vegetal or animal materials. Chopping tools, bifacially chipped tools, had a more diversified and advanced use. These were employed for more precise cutting of materials, such as working with animal hides, processing wood, or even manufacturing other specialized tools. Due to their bifacial structure, these tools provided greater precision and control during use, making them suitable for tasks that required finer or more detailed craftsmanship. Today, I will tell you a short story about two river stones, one named choppers and the other named chopping tools. Once upon a time, in a quiet riverbed, two stones lay side by side. Their names were choppers and chopping tools, and they were always competing and wanting to know which one was more beautiful. They both longed to catch the eye of a human, believing that this would validate their beauty and worth. One sunny day, their dreams began to unfold. A human walked by the river, and while wandering there deep in thought, he suddenly noticed choppers, a beautiful and round stone. The human picked up choppers, admiring its color and shape. Choppers immediately felt a surge of pride and cast a smug glance at chopping tools. It had been chosen, not chopping tools. But its joy did not last long. Soon, the human's eyes fell on chopping tools as well, and he picked it up to examine it more closely. For a moment, choppers and chopping tools were equals, both admired and appreciated by humans. The rivalry simmered in them as they lay in the human's hands. However, this balance quickly shifted. The human began to strike choppers with another stone, harder than itself, chipping it to thin its edge, wanting to turn it into a tool to make his work easier. The blows were painful, and choppers winced with each strike. Seeing this, chopping tools laughed, feeling superior as it remained untouched. It had been picked up second, but now the human was hitting the other stone, not it. What joy it felt! But it barely had time to enjoy its superiority. When the human finished working on choppers and continued to work on it, and oh, he was hitting it even harder and more than choppers! He was striking it on both sides to form a sharp edge on both sides. Chopping tools barely held together. It thought it would crack, but it survived, remaining in one piece, only now with sharp edges on both sides. Since this process was more intense and painful for chopping tools compared to what choppers had endured, now choppers felt a sense of superiority. It hadn't been hit as much, nor had it lost as much of its edges as chopping tools had. It thought that the human respected it more. But as time passed, the roles of the two stones became clear. Choppers was used for heavy tasks, cutting meat from carcasses and breaking bones to extract marrow, which was hard and exhausting work, and choppers often became worn out. On the other hand, chopping tools was used for more delicate, lighter tasks, such as working with animal hides and processing softer materials. It was involved in finer, more precise work, and although it worked, it wasn't as exhausting as choppers' tasks. And so choppers and chopping tools lived, rivaling endlessly, always trying to outdo each other, sometimes feeling superior, sometimes inferior. Just like many people who, instead of enjoying the success and well-being of others and delighting others with their own qualities, constantly compete and seek validation from external sources. And thus, choppers and chopping tools continued their endless competition a reflection of the human tendency to rival and compare, instead of celebrating what makes each individual unique and valuable. If you ever meet them somewhere and see that they have made peace, please let me know so that I can also rejoice for them. Here ends my story, but let's also listen to the historical truths. The actions and characters in this story are fictional. The historical truths are as follows. The Olduvai culture takes its name from the Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania. The gorge takes its name from the Maasai word Olduvai, which means the place of the wild sisal, as the East African wild sisal grows abundantly throughout the gorge area. The Olduvai culture is the oldest culture of the Stone Age and is associated with the first stone tools. It is widespread across vast areas and has been primarily discovered in Africa, Asia, and Europe. The Olduvai culture marks a crucial point in human history, reflecting the earliest evidence of the ability to create and use tools to modify the environment. These simple tools allowed early humans to more efficiently exploit animal meat and access bone marrow. Choppers and chopping tools are types of early Stone Age tools mainly associated with this culture called Olduvai. Choppers are large stone tools created by removing flakes from one edge of a stone core. The result is a tool with an asymmetrical cutting edge and an opposite side that is rounded or less worked. Choppers were used for cutting and smashing hard materials such as bones, wood, and other plant materials. They were effective for splitting bones to access bone marrow, an important source of nutrition. Chopping tools are similar to choppers, but often have multiple cutting edges created by flaking from multiple angles. They can have 2 or more worked faces, providing multiple cutting surfaces. These tools were used for a wide range of activities, including cutting, smashing, and processing food. They were versatile and efficient for various domestic tasks.